Hello and a very warm welcome to Meghan and Harry News YouTube channel. Hi, I'm Alex and I hope all is well with you today. There are some very interesting developments going on at the moment. I don't know if you have noticed, but there are quite a few negative stories circulating in the media about King Charles. Of course, these articles are few and far between compared to the negative onslaught directed towards Meghan and Harry, a negative campaign that has lasted for years. But nonetheless, there have been quite a few of these, and I noticed recently a royal reporter mentioned that within the royal circles there are two camps in argument over whether to start peace talks with Harry. Apparently one side does not want it, while the other thinks it's the easier route, and makes me wonder if these negative stories about Charles might start to multiply. If there is a media campaign being waged to make Charles look bad now, in order to get William closer to the crown, who knows? This merely speculation on my part, but we do know from what Harry has said that they leak stories, work with the media in order to climb up the royal ladder. Here we see this one today. King Charles' grasp on Commonwealth in peril as a major country threatens exit. The monarch's control over the Commonwealth appears to be slipping, as yet another member is working towards exiting the voluntary union of countries. So already we have the very same media who have a campaign against Meghan and Harry, here implying that Charles is a weak leader. It continues on. King Charles is facing his very first test of authority on the Commonwealth. Jamaica's Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, has urged his nation's ministers to move ahead with speed in implementing the measures necessary to transform Jamaica from a constitutional monarchy to a republic. Speaking at a function in Montego Bay, St. James, Jamaica's Prime Minister declared, "It is time that Jamaica becomes a republic. For us, the process is not simple, and we have known this from when we started on this journey, and we are making sure that we check every box as we move deliberately in that regard." Jamaica would become the newest republic after a long line of nations, the latest of which was Barbados in November 2021. The Prince of Wales, who was prince at the time, attended the ceremony on behalf of Queen Elizabeth II. It then finishes the article. After the Queen's death, questions hanged over King Charles's ability to navigate Britain's colonial past and tackle the Commonwealth's origins rooted in colonialism. Without Jamaica, the Commonwealth would shrink to 14 members. And here is another curious article. This article is negative about Meghan and Harry, but they are now using Harry to say that Charles is weak. How cruel does Harry have to get for the royal family to say enough? Asks Carol Malone. It says Harry's revelations have become more aggressive, more cruel. I now think that the royal family's silence is making them look weak and stupid. It's like they're saying to his man, trotting out his stories, "Go on, kick us in the guts some more, humiliate us again, why don't you?" Again, we see the narrative of Charles being weak being pushed around on the same platforms that has a dedicated team working day and night creating negative stories about Meghan and Harry. We also see the Daily Mirror join this narrative with this headline: King Charles shows weak leadership by staying silent on Harry and Meghan, says author. This is an article based on something Omid Scobie wrote, which originated in his column on Yahoo, but is now being used by these tabloids to push the weak narrative. Writing in his column for Yahoo, he said, "That makes it well over 2 years King Charles has had to stop the unresolved grievances between the firm and his son from escalating. Instead, he chose to bury his head in the sand." Charles may have done a solid job of continuing the Queen's busy schedule of daily duties, but his inability to convene and command his own family has left his leadership skills looking weak. He says that stiff upper lip in public may have briefly lived up to their brand of keeping calm and carrying on, but the long-term outcome of their cruel silence still haunts them to this day. 20 years from now, I have a feeling we will be saying the same thing about Spare. And you notice that the text under the heading focuses on the statement saying his inability to convene and command his own family. Meanwhile, yesterday's Harry's book, Spare, broke yet more records. Harry's controversial memoir has become the fast-selling non-fiction book in the UK since records began in 1998. According to Nielsen book data, which collects and provides information on distribution and sales measurements of books, Harry's headline-grabbing autobiography, Spare, sold 467,183 copies in its first week. This data released by Nielsen shows that the book has broken the previous record of 210,506 copies set by the first Pinch of Nom cookbook written by Kay Allison in 2019. Spare, which was ghostwritten by J.R. Mohringer, is the only non-fiction book to make it into the top 10 fastest selling books in the UK since records began. So more good news for Harry, and interestingly we are seeing a pattern of negative stories appearing about Charles, with the focus on him being or implying that he is a weak leader. I wonder if there is an internal battle going on in the royal family, and we might start to see various negative media campaigns directed at different members. I mean, they did it to Meghan and Harry, maybe now they will start to go after each other. Who knows? Please leave a comment and express your opinion below, and I'll see you in the next video.